Lunchbox Science! So, midterms happened and Lunchbox Science took an accidental hiatus. Whoops. And then it was fall break and now we're back at school. But we're not gonna despair. It's already halfway through the semester already? What? To all the other college folks out there, I salute you on your hard work, and I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I think we can do it. So, down to business. Around this point in the semester, and especially towards the end, I hope I'm not the only one who turns to food for comfort. Sometimes a cookie can be as good as a hug on bad days, right? Well, today we're gonna talk about food cravings. And not in like the Dr. Oz, how to curb your hunger and stop food cravings to melt off the fat kind of way, because ain't nobody got time for that shit. Instead, we're going to talk about it scientifically. Why does your body sometimes have a massive craving for artificial cheese? Is that just me? Well, like most of the questions addressed here on Lunchbox Science, we don't really have a concrete answer. Isn't it crazy how little we know about so many things? There's just so much to still be explored. Nerding out here. So while there's no universally accepted reason, there are some leading hypotheses. Most scientists think that most food cravings are due to either an altered hormone state in the individual who is craving or a lack of a certain nutrient or mineral in the body of the person who's craving a food. Pregnant women, for instance, who are infamous for their odd food cravings, have highly elevated levels of estrogen. This heightens their senses and turns them off of certain foods and makes them crave other certain foods with high salt, fat, or sugar content. We'll get to that later. Going back a little ways to eating when you're stressed. There is actually a reason why we do that. What most people call comfort food, mac and cheese, chocolate, any kind of dessert, really. Most of these foods are usually refined carbs. Carbs with lots and lots of sugar in them. Foods with lots and lots of sugar have a high glycemic index, and when you ingest those, it causes your blood glucose levels to rise really fast and go really high. This is associated with a spike in energy and mood, and why people say that some foods make them feel better. Now, generally, unfortunately, this sugar high only lasts for, at most, a couple of hours. When you introduce large amounts of glucose into your bloodstream very fast, your body produces insulin, which absorbs that glucose at an equally fast pace. So after you get this really high sugar spike, it's going to go down equally as fast into the crash mode. This crash makes you crave either consciously or unconsciously something that will replace that sugar high again. So there's lots of evidence leading to the conclusion that more consumption of refined carbs leads to higher cravings of refined carbs. This cycle that the consumption of refined carbs activates is actually in the addiction and pleasure center of your brain. Solutions are basically what nobody wants to hear, just don't eat as many cookies. That's no fun. But unrefined carbs, things like whole grains, vegetables, fruits, make your blood sugar levels rise at a reasonable pace and don't give you the crash at the end. So I'm pretty sure anybody who's ever survived college has done so primarily on sugar and caffeine. So as long as you eat regularly throughout the day and mostly unrefined carbs plus some protein, you should be good with no roller coastering of energy or mood. Going back to an earlier point, we often crave foods that are high in fat, salt, and sugar. This is because, essentially, we're still animals. Our bodies don't know when our next meal might be available or when we're gonna need to run away from a predator, so it's evolutionarily programmed to consume as much immediate energy as it possibly can. There are even food scientists who work for primarily fast food joints who actually scientifically plan out the ratios of fat, salt, and sugar in fast foods so that you scientifically have to crave it after you've eaten it. It's totally not fair. They cheat. Anyway, I hope that helps explain something about our food cravings and the foods we love and why. I hope you are well. I hope you eat well. I hope you sleep well. And don't forget to pack your lunchbox.